Right, colleagues, hello everyone. Let's have a look at what's happening on the market today. The data has been released. These are the GDP figures for the third quarter in Japan. The figures come out worse than before and worse than expected. There won't be any news tomorrow. On Wednesday, we'll have the Consumer Inflation Index data for the UK and the Consumer Inflation Index for Europe. The Federal Reserve will be presenting its interim report and sharing its outlook going forward. Thursday, average hourly earnings. Thursday, month-end. Thursday, unemployment rate. Well, I think we'll finally find out the unemployment rate and what's going on there. This will actually be an important interval. Why? Because if the data comes out worse here, and most likely it will, the Federal Reserve will be forced to lower the interest rate. The meeting will be on the 10th of December, and we can see that the probability of a rate cut has decreased. Why are the markets now declining and falling? Because the likelihood of an interest rate cut is going down. 43% chance of a cut, 57% that the rate will stay the same. So basically, the market is experiencing a dip. And on Thursday, these very data will be released. Honestly, I expect the figures to be worse than the previous ones, maybe 4.4, 4.5, so unemployment should increase. If unemployment really does increase, then the probability of a rate cut will go up. If the probability of a rate cut rises, then we'll see some positive movement in the market. Again, the main thing is for all the data to be published already. On Friday, we'll get the data for the S&P, the manufacturing sector, and the services sector. We've already discussed the interest rate. In January, a definite rate cut is expected. We see here 3.50 to 3.75, and in January, definitely 3.50 to 3.55, with a further probability of 3.25 to 3.50. So we can see that the plan is to keep lowering the rate more and more. The target of 2% will only be reached. The target 2%. We will see, of course. But of course, these forecasts are not always accurate in advance. Yeah, so you see, I'm just looking, by the end of 2027, we're moving towards a target of 3%. But for some reason, I don't see the target of 2% even in 2027. It'll probably come a bit later. Well, let's see how the market develops. More than 144,000 traders were liquidated. $520 million. Long traders are suffering the most because the asset keeps falling further down. Don't see anything interesting here for now. Funding. Let's have a look at what's happening with funding. Funding is showing more of a readiness for continued growth. Spot Bitcoin ETFs are currently at minus $1.1 billion again. Minus $728 million, and then there's Solana and Ripple. Litecoin, by the way, Ripple, and even HBAR have been added. You can see here, yes, HBAR. Quite interesting, isn't it? The market is falling, but new ETFs are being added, and no one is hyping it up. It's just that big players are accumulating more and more. So now we can see we've got Sol, Ripple, Litecoin, HBAR. There are some good spot ETFs. Let's take a look at the market. USD dominance has reached the 6% target. This is the previous level we mentioned and discussed. We'll be testing it. So possibly there could be some movement towards 6.2%. In theory, there should be some kind of spike, maybe even a new high before a reversal. For now, I don't see anything specific here for a long position on the market. Why? The 7 and 30 moving averages are quite far apart. So we need some sideways movement, some kind of distribution before USDT moves further down and the market grows. That's why I'm saying again, for now, there's no opportunity to open long positions. Looking here, we see the 7 and 30 are far apart and it kept rising for a while longer. Then a sharp drop began, which means the fall will be quick. In other words, the reversal will be fast. But for now, I still don't see it happening today. We still need to keep watching. Still, I'm getting ready, because when the market does turn, it will start to decline. And here, the picture is basically the same. But here, let's say, ideally, the reversal would happen right here, in this liquidity zone. This is where it is. And from here, it will continue to decline further. Can it go higher? Of course it can. It could even reach this level here. So for now, I'm focusing here, and then I'll keep watching and observing. So for now, I'm focusing here. Right, title. It's currently reaching the 0.812 level, but again, I want to emphasize that I'm not saying there's a definite reversal point here, nor am I suggesting that it's absolutely going to turn around at this particular spot. Here's a good level to watch, and here's another good level that we could potentially test in the near future. Why exactly this specific level? Well, because here, previously, it acted as both a mirror resistance and a mirror support level, which is quite significant. This flat area, which you can see here, could be very interesting and important for testing this level and then possibly gathering enough strength for further growth and upward movement. So for now, we're looking in that direction, keeping a close eye on how the price action develops and unfolds over time. We are going to test this particular level thoroughly. So now, what about the altcoins? What should we consider regarding them? This level, the 365 moving average, could be relevant, but again, we might see 850, so let's keep an eye on this range. See how important it is, right? Remember, I said that if it goes above 1.05, then look for growth. There was no consolidation back then, so it's good that we didn't look for a reversal at that point and just kept accumulating positions, because for now, we should be watching the 930 or $850 billion levels. Bitcoin dominance. A signal has come in that dominance will start flowing into other assets, into Ethereum or others. So there's a high probability that we'll actually see this rotation happening. As for Ethereum dominance, there's still no signal that Ethereum's dominance will increase. So far, the signal has been to sell. That was on the 20th of September. There's nothing here for a long position yet, so we'll just watch them. For others, there is a signal that altcoin dominance will increase. So we continue to look towards growth. So Bitcoin at $94,000, well, in that case, we might even test $86,000. Unfortunately, that's the level. Why? Because I thought it would hold at the 98 to 96 level, but here it just can't hold. Well, it's possible that we'll come back for a retest like that, test this level, and then start growing upwards again. That could happen, but for now, I don't see where it could turn around. The reversal levels are $92,000 and $86,000. For now, we're watching these levels for a possible reversal. What's going on with Ethereum? For Ethereum, we're reaching 2,800. So basically, it turns out we'll be reaching this flat area. For now, I don't see any signals for a reversal. At the moment, I'm looking towards 2,800 in this range, because there's a solid level here that we can rely on. Now, BNB is approaching a very interesting level, $850. We don't see a signal for growth yet, but we're watching in this direction. At this level, it could still go down for now. The main thing here is not to rush just yet. Now, Solana, but if it drops to the $123 level, that would be a good zone for buying in these ranges, even if just as a buy zone at this level. But again, there's no reversal pattern here, so we'll just keep an eye on it for a potential buy. Most likely it will keep taking out lows down to 20 to 50 cents. Again, it could fall even lower here. In the support zone, in the buy zone, we'll mark this level for ourselves here. $15 to $16. Right now, many assets are going to fall sharply, returning to their levels which have been previously marked. We're waiting for buy signals like these to appear. At the moment, there aren't any here. So for now, we're just watching. As for the hype, at $35, it will probably drop. CAS is the same. There are still no buy signals here either. Yen will probably reach the 26-cent level, but there are still no buy signals here yet. Now, Litecoin. Well, there are some buy signals, but for now it's moving sideways. By the way, Litecoin is actually much stronger than the market overall. So these assets will be the main ones to buy. Sol, Onda, Avax, Hype, CAS, Yen, Litecoin, HBAR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, bodies, give them. And if you have any questions, do ask. We can discuss them.
Are we buying today? Could we?
Just a second, please.
And guess.
Once again?
Yes. That's DEPIN, right?
Okay. So, does anyone have any questions? I'll be happy to comment and answer your questions.
Let's try once more to go over the standard. What's your plan for the rest of the year? What are you expected?
Here, I'll be paying more attention to what they'll be saying about unemployment levels. Right now, it's important for me to see what data will be released on Thursday. Why? Because this level, the unemployment rate, is the one the Federal Reserve focuses on. And what matters to me is the rhetoric, what they'll be saying after this data is released. So the main thing I'm watching right now is the unemployment rate and what will happen with the dominance in ZT. So it's important for me that the dominance in ZT reaches the 6% level, turns around there, and then calmly starts moving downwards. I'm still expecting growth by the end of the year, and I still believe we'll see a long movement in the market. But again, yes, it's important for me to understand what the unemployment data will be, because without that, making any expectations are going to be very difficult right now.
Understood. So if we take all the factors into account, including the interest rate and some geopolitical issues, then by spring, in theory, we might expect something positive to happen. Yes.
Yes.
February, March, April, May. Somewhere around then, right? Understood. That's good news. We have time to build up our positions.
Yes. I'm thinking about that too, yes.
So guys, if anyone else has any questions, go ahead and ask. Well, since there are no more questions, thank you for joining the broadcast. See you next Monday. So, are we all keeping our spirits up?
Come on.
Yes, have a good day.
Until next time. Thank you.